Guys, welcome back to this tutorial. So today I am going to be showing you how to make the HP logo. I am CC Morris. Without much further ado, let's start. Now, all you need to do is to click on okay, we are not going to be using the text tool, so we are going to use the rectangle tool. So you click on the rectangle tool and then you click and drag to draw a rectangle vertically straight this way. All right, you can give it any fill color of your choice, right? And then you can just double click to remove the line color here. If you don't need that line color, you just say no. All right, so the next thing you have to do is to duplicate this. You use Ctrl D to duplicate, right? And then you click on this middle node here and just drag it down to the center. Good. Once you do this, you can bring this to the edge right here, just right here. And then you can hold the Control key to drag it out. You can see that. All right, good. Now, to do the other side of the P, all you need to do is to click and drag to select all these objects. Another way to click and drag is by clicking and holding the shift key to select the other one. But I prefer just clicking on the pick tool. This is the pick tool, and then click and drag to highlight or select everything. Now, when you press Ctrl G, it's going to group up all the objects. Now you are going to duplicate it with Ctrl D. So you press Ctrl D to duplicate. So once you duplicate it, all you need to do is to click on this mirror vertically to flip it vertically this way. And that is how to design the HP logo. You can click on your arrow button, up arrow button, to adjust it if you want, and then you can select everything and give it another fill color. If you don't like this shade of black, you can double click on this paint bucket tool, and then you come to this color model and switch it to RGB, and then you click and drag this node down to the extreme end to have a hot shade of black. Can you see that? Now, if we want to add some little flip to this, I can click on the circle tool to draw, and I'm going to hold the Control key to draw a perfect circle, right? Good. Now, let's say I just give this circle a shade, so at least we can know what we are doing. So quickly, I'm going to place it on top of this other object here, right? I'll just put it at the center. Let me drag and move everything to the center of the screen. Okay. Now, guys, if you watch, the HP is right behind, right? We need to take this circle to the back of the page. How do we do that? You just simply right click and then you click on order, and then you click to back of page. Can you see that? All right. So right now, if we want to trim all the or weld all the objects together, in fact, let's trim. We are going to use the HP, this HP, this two HP. We are going to use it to trim the circle. So just click and drag to select everything, right? And then click on this trim tool here. Once you click on the trim tool, voila, and then you can see that you've trimmed the HP, right? So you can go ahead and delete this if you don't need this anymore, right? Oh, one more step. Let me go back a bit. We didn't flip the HP before we trimmed, right? So let's quickly correct that. So before we trim, I'm going to select this HP, right? And click on this other one. Then I'm going to click at the middle of this HP. Now you see where you have this skew button at the middle. Just click and skew it forward, right? And then you click on the center again. You can drag it out and drag it back in so you get the center of the object of the circle. You can see I'm right here at the center. Now I can click and drag everything and then click on the trim tool to trim it. And wow, we have our HP logo. So real quick, I'm going to show you how to export this as a PNG file. Before I export it as a PNG file, I'm going to click and then remove the line color first. I'll double click on the line and go to width and say none and say okay. All right. So now I am also going to give this any color of my choice. It's left for you. Let me just give it black. Okay, fine. So to export, all you need to do, you click on this icon here, right? The shortcut to export is Control E. So once you click on the export tool, you select the location where you want to save it. Okay, let me save it on my documents, right? And then you give it a name. I can call it HP logo. Now, under the options, save as type here, make sure you select any type of file you want. You can select vector, you can select PNG. If you select PNG, the background is going to be transparent. If you select JPEG, it's going to have like a white background. So let me select PNG because I need the background to be transparent, and then click export. And that is how to export. You click OK. You can see that the background is transparent, right? And then you click OK, and that is how to design the HP logo. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you how to design the mug cup on Blender. All right, thanks for watching, and take charge, guys. Bye. All right, guys, welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a nice mock-up. I'm going to be using another design different from the one I made previously. So without much further ado, let's get started. So I'm in Blender. All I'm going to do is to delete this default cube by hitting the delete key on my keyboard. So once I press the delete key, that is off. Now to what I'm going to do, I'm going to press Shift A, and then I'm going to insert a cylinder. Okay, guys, once the cylinder is inserted, the next thing I'm going to do is to press the tab key to go into edit mode. I'm in edit mode. So I am going to click on face select mode. Can you see the face select mode button here? So once you click on it, you click on the top face, right? If you click, once you click on the top face, you press the G key on your keyboard to move, and then you press Z to move it up on Z axis this way. Can you see that, guys? Now, once you move it up on Z axis, you press the enter, right? Now, we are also going to scale it. So to scale it, you press S to scale, and then you drag it outward to scale it a bit this way, right? And then you press the enter key. Now we are going to press E key to extrude. So you press E on your keyboard and then drag it upward to extrude it a little. Good. Now we want to extrude the faces at the side, right? So on this side. So I'm going to click on this face here, and then to select every other face that are similar to this, all I'm going to do is to click I'm going to press Alt on my keyboard and then click the left arrow of my mouse at the same time, right? You hold the Alt key and the left arrow button of your keyboard of your mouse at the same time. So I'm going to do that now. Alt and your left arrow mouse button, right? Now you can see that selected every faces along this path. So what am I going to do now? Instead of dragging it out, just drag it in to bring out just a little, or protrude this shape a little bit like this. Okay, fine. So you press enter. Now I am going to click inside the circle itself. So I'm going to extrude this. So you press E to extrude. Now once you press E to extrude, this shape, this size will do. So you press enter. Now you are going to press S to scale. So I'm going guys, don't forget, Ctrl Z is to undo. So let me redo it again. I press Ctrl Z to undo. So I'm going to press E to extrude and extrude it up a bit this way. Yeah. Then I'm going to press S to scale and then scale it inward. Good. Perfect. Now I am going to press I to insert. Once you press I to insert, just click and drag it inward, right? Good. Now that it's inward, I can also decide to press E to extrude it a little bit down. So I'm going to press enter first and then press E to extrude it down a bit. Good. Now I am also going to press I to insert again. So I'll press I to insert. I am and then I am dragging in to do that insertion, but I'm not seeing what I am doing. So I'm going to expand this a bit. I'm going to zoom so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to press I to to insert again. Yeah, can you see it now? Now I pressed enter, but I'm going to press S to scale. I'm going to press escape. Let me still zoom in again and drag this thing down. So remember, you press S to scale. Good. I think when you zoom it, you have more flexibility to like create that circle, like make a hole there, and then you press enter. So I'm going to press I to insert again. I to insert. I want to make another circle right there. Good. Good. So with this circle, I'm going to make like a straw, right? So I'm going to press enter and then press E to extrude it up to make a straw with that, right? Okay. Now, with this, I can also, let me move, pan this down a bit. I can also press I to insert, so I can have something like a hole here. So I'm going to press I to insert and press enter, then press E to extrude this down so I can have that hole. I can stop here. Now, I also want to create a little bit of a kind of insertion here. So I'll select this face. Remember, I'm still on face select mode. So I'm going to select this face, right? Don't forget, I want to select all the faces along this normal. So I'm going to use the Alt key on the keyboard with my left mouse button. So I'm going to press it at the same time. Can you see that? Now I can press E to extrude this down a little bit. Okay, guys, so let me zoom this properly so you see what we have done so far. Awesome, guys, and this is how to design a simple mock-up with a straw. So guys, I'm going to go back into edit mode. I just want to do a little correction here, and then I am going to just go down. I want to pick the bottom here and create something at the bottom, right? So I'm going to press E to extrude and extrude it a little bit, right? Okay, this is going to do, and then that will do. Okay, so let's add the subdivision surface modifier and see what this is going to look like. So I'll click on the modifiers property tab, click on add modifier, and then search for subdivision surface modifier. You can type it right here, and then you click on subdivision surface modifier. Good. So let me press the tab key to go into edit mode. You can see we have a nice looking mock-up. So I can just bump my level up here to have a smooth shader there. I can also do the same to my render button here to bump this up to 6, and good. So to finish up this job, I need to add a logo to this nice looking mug, right? I'm going to be adding the HP logo that we just designed on Coreldraw. So how do we do that? First of all, you can watch the previous video, or let me quickly do that in this other video without wasting time. So I'm going to press Shift A and then click on image and click on mesh plane. Once you do this, remember I saved that my CorelDRAW logo on document. So I'm going to click on document and locate the HP logo.png and click on import images as plane. Now it's been imported, but it's inside. So you're going to press G to move it and X to move it out, right? Bam, 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 bam. So you press Z to switch into material preview mode, right? And you click the material preview mode. You can see that the HP logo is showing already. So I'm going to press G and Z to move it up on Z axis, right? Good. So I just want this HP logo to be at this corner. So I'm going to click and show you what is happening. You can see where the logo is, and you can see where the mock cup is. So I am going to append this logo to the mug, but before I do that, I'm going to scale and subdivide this logo. So I'm going to press S to scale and then drag a bit. Now to add the modifier, first thing you need to do is to enter into edit mode. You right click on it and click on subdivide, right? Now you click on this subdivision panel here, and then you click inside the number of cuts and bump this up to 50. You can type 50 and press enter. Once you've done this, you can hide this, right? And then the next thing I'm going to do is to go to the modifiers property tab, click on add modifier, then we search for the shrink wrap modifier. So you type shrink. Once you type shrink, you see this shrink wrap modifier, then you click on it. Once you click on it, the first thing you do is to click on this eyedropper tool and then click on the cylinder object. That's the mock-up, right? Once you click on it, you can see that the HP logo has been appended. But to finish the job, you just click on wrap and change this to project. Once you change it to project, you check this negative button here, and then you go down with bit. You just go down with bit, and then under the offset, you just type 0.004 here, and then you press enter, and voila, we've done a very beautiful job. Once you click on the tab key, you can see, let me give you a quick preview of what we've done so far. Can you see that? All right, guys, this is going to wrap up this tutorial. All right, if you have any question, any comment, you can write me, and I'm going to reply. All right. Okay, take charge. See you in the next video. Bye.